Here in the heart of the Sandhills, rancher Tom McNeil not just raising cattle, but raising spirits. I'm Steve White with a remarkable story of a man not expected to live 30 years later, still doing what he loves. A force of nature. It's hard to believe Tom McNeil stared death in the face 30 years ago. Now 89, he thrives on the ranch, powered by a heart as unyielding as the Sandhills he loves. At 59, doctors gave him a choice: a transplant or just months to live. With a new heart, the hope was 7 to 10 years. But Tom had other plans.
I've outlasted 7 to 10 years.
Outlasted many times over, stunning even the experts.
He is obviously 2 standard deviations beyond the mean, a big part of which is he takes care of himself. He does what he's supposed to do. Historically, about 10% of people die in the first year from complications of the surgery, infection, or rejection. It's unusual for people to live as long as he has in general, let alone live that long with a heart transplant. So he is clearly doing a good job.
Behind his survival is his family, including his wife, Sue.
Taking good care of me all these years. So
Tom missed his wife's Teacher of the Year reception with the governor, but lived to see his daughter earn the same title more recently as she visited the White House.
They had given you just a few more months of life without this transplant. And then the average lifespan with a heart transplant was 7 years.
Yeah.
So we're feeling pretty grateful to be celebrating 30 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't just family. When the call came, it seemed all of Loup County was involved.
The whole community jumped into action, and they're still jumping into action today when different families in our area need that help.
From Taylor, Tom McNeil ended up here in Omaha at the Med Center, arriving with a helicopter flight he'll never forget.
Here come 2 guys pushing a gurney with the white sheets flashing and blowing in the wind and running towards the helicopter, and they just went by me, and I went in and sat down on the bench. And pretty soon here they come back and said, "Oh my God, are you the guy that's supposed to have the heart transplant?" And I said, "Yeah." "Oh, you can't be walking, you." And they slammed me in a wheelchair and all that.
Tom's longevity isn't luck, it's a gift. Against doctor's orders, he refused to give up the ranch.
I never quit working.
Yeah.
And I think that was the secret. I just kept right on doing everything, and not that the doctors consented to that, but they told me to sell the ranch, change occupations, go to a city, get you a job somewhere like J.C. Penney's in the men's department or the shoe department. And I couldn't buy that at all. I just kept digging post holes and riding horses or whatever it took.
In 1994, few would have predicted this outcome.
I would not have placed a bet on that.
Tom McNeil here given months to live. 30 years later, still doing what he loves in the heart of the Sandhills. His second chance almost didn't happen. The donor was a young man who died suddenly. His family hesitated until the transplant coordinator made a heartfelt plea.
The coordinator come in and said, "Tom, we have a little problem. My donor was a 20-year-old young man from the Gothenburg area, and she said his mother is refusing to give any organs."
He hadn't talked to his family about his decision to be an organ donor, and then when they, it was a sudden death, and they were in shock, and they couldn't do it. So I think the coordinator got a picture of Megan out of the file and showed the mother and said, "This little girl would really like to grow up with her dad, and your heart could help this happen." And that's when she consented.
That decision gave Tom decades.
People make the gift of organ donation. It's not saving one life. It's in general saving 7 or 8 people And it's life-changing for those people.
It's just been a miracle all the way around.
Tom McNeil is a living testament that organ donation gives the gift of life.
Most people who meet him say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to say it here, he's 89 years old. And people are literally shocked when they hear that. And I do think it's because of his active lifestyle. He still is actively ranching here in the Sandhills of Nebraska. There's something in this Sandhills water that's good for the soul and the heart, I guess we could say.
His next heartbeat could have been his last, but instead, his family celebrates his 30th heart birthday.
I was a 10-year-old girl. My mom was a teacher working full-time, and Dad, was down and out for quite a while. So we really do think it's a community success, and so we want to celebrate with the entire community. We're thankful to have them in our corner.
A celebration of love and life, and proof the greatest gifts often beat within our own hearts.
I would think they would be so happy that their son is living on in another person. Yeah. And it's been very worthwhile, and we are so thankful to that family for donating the heart.
Yeah, very thankful. Yeah.
Reporting in Taylor, I'm Steve White.